Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to afternoon session of second day FDP induction program conducted by AICT and ISTE. Today, our speaker, Dr. M. Srinivasulu, sir. Good afternoon, sir. He is an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and National Institute of Technology, Warangal, Telangana. He is currently working as an assistant professor or a Department of Computer Science and Engineering, NIT Warangal. Previously, he has been in postdoctoral research in many institutions like ETS and Quambo, Canada, Institute of Information Sciences and Academic Scene of Taiwan. He has worked as in many countries for many institutions for research improvement. Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, he has been contributed many researches to the IIT Hyderabad. He completed PhD in the Department of Computer Science in IIT Hyderabad. He has served many publications, journals, and conferences. And currently, he has been doing his contribution for the research and contributing his research towards his interesting subjects and other consequences. Today, Sir has been honored us. Sir has been came to the guest of us, and he has been received many awards. And these are the awards. He has been received many awards. Here the list is. Participated in an journalist program in May 15, 2010 in Japan, and he has been in IEEE Consic Travel Gent in India 2012 and Biomed Summer School Travel of Jane 2013, and he has been selected for IBA and XRCA as a research collaborator, and he has been done in many projects and he has been awarded for that. Good afternoon, sir. Please welcome to our session.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you for your introduction. Uh, Good afternoon to all. So in this section, I give some introduction about the supervised and unsupervised learning techniques and what is going on internally inside the supervised learning methods or unsupervised learning methods. I give the clarity on that one. And what are the different terminologies are using, why it's came and what is the difference between that one. So that one also I will give some clarity on that one. Basically, normally we can talk about the different terminologies like my screen is visible.
No, sir. No, sir. Please, now it is visible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in case of data analytics or machine learning, whatever it may be, we use the different kind of terminologies. So all are comes under the only one thing is called the AI. So AI is nothing but what? It is the simulation of the human intelligence, how the humans will be work, how the humans will be think, how the humans will be analyze. The same way the machines also they will do. In case of prediction analysis, they use some kind of techniques like
Sir, the screen is empty, sir.
yeah, it will come.
Okay,
So
sir.
they will do the prediction analysis kind of thing. They will do the analysis kind of thing. Same way how the human intelligence is working, they will build the machines. The human intelligence will be simulated, that will be build the some machines that we can call as a robots kind of thing. So that will also do the same thing to the analysis and prediction and take the decisions kind of thing. For example, you can consider the in case of any manufacturing companies. Okay, so in that scenario what will happen, normally you can take car manufacturing or maybe you can take as a like this one any computer manufacturing kind of companies. Instead of using the humans, they use the only machines. That most of the cases machines they will do the assembling kind of thing, welding kind of thing. When the object came, it will be detect. So that's why I'm saying artificial intelligence is nothing but the human intelligence, how it is work. The same way they build the machines, that is we can call as the AI. So in that different areas, domains is available. One of the domain is called learning mechanism kind of thing. With this help of this learning, it is contains the two types is the supervised and unsupervised learning methods are available. So with help of this one, they will do the prediction analysis kind of thing, and detection kind of thing, or classification kind of thing they will do. For example, at present days you are seeing when the rains are coming, means floods will be occur. So in that scenario, they will do the predicting the whether the rain will come or not. Okay, when it will come, and stock market prediction kind of thing. So, and earthquake prediction kind of thing. This all kind of analysis and prediction kind of methods. So they will, with help of this machine learning techniques only, they will do. So in this, I said basically two type of learning methods are available. One is the supervised learning algorithm, another is the unsupervised learning algorithm. In supervised learning algorithm, many methods are available. So one of the method is called the neural network. So neural network is one of the supervised learning algorithm. The extension part of the neural network we can call as the deep learning. So deep learning is not the separate area kind of thing. It is the just extension part of the neural network only. Neural network is the one of the application of the one of the supervised learning method of the machine learning. Machine learning is nothing but the one of the application of the artificial intelligence. Okay, so like this, you have the structure is there. So all are, when you're using the prediction related methods and analysis kind of methods, or maybe classification, clustering, detection, segmentation, any kind of methods will be comes under the machine learning. That is the one of the application of the AI. So other than this one, some other terminologies also they're using. A trend is like text mining, medical imaging, data analytics, data science, computer vision. So why these terminologies came? The terminologies came based on the what type of the data they're using, okay, and what type of the methods they're using in that. So mostly based on the data only came. Sometimes we can based on the methods also they will discriminate. So methods means, for example, you can take data science people or data analytics people. What they will do to analysis of the data and to estimating the data, prediction kind of thing, and visualization kind of the data. So mostly statistical related methods they use for that kind of applications. So that is also available statistical related methods in machine learning, like regression models kind of techniques. Everything is available, but mostly in that data science people are they will go for only how the data is there. They will do the analysis kind of thing, visualization kind of thing, prediction kind of thing. That everything take care by the statistical methods. Next, another way is give the discrimination is based on the what type of the data they are using. So for example, one person using the one kind of document. So that is called the, maybe it is called as the textbook. So one textbook is there. So normally textbook is contains the cover page. So cover page, what is there? Title of the book is there, author names is there, publisher name is there, year of publication. So this type of the information is available in the front page of the your cover page. Front page is nothing but the cover page only. So suppose if the inside the pages, it does not contain the any this book related information like title of the book, author names, publisher name kind of thing. Okay, then after removing, I given this book to you, and after reading the book, can you identify whether this book is related to which subject? It is possible or not?
Possible, sir.
Possible. How it can be possible? So in your lifetime, maybe you studied many books kind of thing, many subjects kind of thing. So once after reading the book, you based on the some content, you identify the some words. The words we can call as the keywords. Okay. So based on that words are keywords, you can easily identify whether the book is related to the which subject. Suppose after reading that book, you identify the keywords like this, like entity, relationship, primary key, foreign key, and normalization and transaction management kind of thing. So this type of the words you are identified. Then the book is related to which subject? So is book related to which subject? So where you identify that type of the keywords, entity, relationship, primary key, foreign key kind of thing.
DBMS.
So that is DBMS. So you can easily recognize that is the database related textbooks, and we can call as the DBMS. Suppose another example, you identify the one book like this. That is semaphore, smart test, critical section, and scheduling algorithms, kernels kind of keywords identified. Then that book related to which subject?
Operating system.
Operating system. So here, how you are identifying if you are not have the information related to the title of the book, other names also based on the content. Content is nothing but here some keywords are you extracted based on the keywords. You are extracting the some information that is called the keywords. Based on the keywords are special words. You are identifying that book is related to the particular subject. So here book is nothing but what? It is a text document. It is a text only. Suppose the same workshop is going physically, then I came to your college. So that time your coordinator is introducing. So he is the Dr. Srinivas from NIT Warangal. Then that time what will happen? So that time when you are seeing my face, how my face is there, how my skin color is there, how my hairstyle is there, what is my height, what is my gesture, what is my personality, what is my dressing style, what is my speaking style. All this type of the information you extracted from my side that you store into your brain. So after storing, you can give the one name that is called the label or tag name or class name kind of thing. So all are synonyms only. So this label or tag name, class name is you can assign is the Srinivas NIT Warangal kind of thing. So what is the use of this labels, tag names or class names is uniquely identify the any objects we can use this class names or labels or tag names. For example, in the group, 10 members is there. Out of 10 members, I am also one of the person in that group. Then if you want to call to me, how can call? Just you can use my name and you can call Srinivas. Then immediately I will react. Suppose in that group, 3 or 4 persons Srinivas name with the same name Srinivas is there. Then if you are calling Srinivas, then what will happen? 4 persons will be react. Okay. So if the 4 persons will be react means, then what is happened? You need to uniquely identify the person. Definitely you can use another kind of name. For example, you can use my surname. So using surname with my name, then immediately only one person will be react. Okay. So like that we can use the labels or tag names or class names to uniquely identify the objects kind of thing. Then here after the 50 days is over, then again I came to your college. Then I will be there in the somewhere. Okay, somewhere means maybe in a canteen or somewhere. So when you are seeing that second time, can you identify me or not? Can you recognize me or not? When you are seeing the second time,
We can recognize, sir.
so definitely we can recognize already who are the persons we know previously. Then easily we can recognize. So what is happening? How you are recognizing in the second time? Same that time also you are extracting some kind of information like face related, height related, gesture related, maybe my skin color related. So that information is matched with the what already stored in your brain. So within the fraction of seconds, you can easily recognize is the Srinivas from NIT Warangal. So here any keywords is there on my face, any text is there on my face. There is no text, no keywords, because I am not the textbook. I am not the document. I am the human. Then human related information only you will be possible to extract. With the text related information only is possible to extract. For example, daily we are listening some music kind of thing. Music is nothing but what? It is a signal only. So you are talking also, it is in the form of signal only. So here what information is contained? Signal is nothing but it's contains some frequency related information only. So in this any text related information is there? There is no text, no keywords, or any what I called skin color related, hairstyle related information is there? No, because it is not human. It is only signal. Signal means some voice is there or some music is there. Then it is based on the frequency we can identify or recognize whose voice or whether the signal is the music or not, what type of the music, like that type of the information we can identify with the some frequency domain related properties. So here what they will do, they will extract the MFCC features related, Mel spectral coefficients features they will extract. So that will give the uniqueness of the whether it is the speech or not, music or not, and what type of the music, that related information it will be extract. Okay, then here, so here no text and no skin color related, height and personality kind of thing, only frequency related information is extracting. So any other information, any other application in the real world also, you are using some application, means definitely you need to extract that application related properties only. Okay, then that will give the more uniqueness or more discrimination to the other class object kind of thing. So definitely you need to extract that data related information only. So depending on the data, they given the terminologies. For example, your data text documents related, then they will call it text mining. You are working on the text mining. Suppose your data is using as a medical data, medical images, then that called as medical images. Suppose your data is related to the videos related, then they will call as a computer vision problem. So based on the what type of the data they're using and what type of the methods they're using, they given the terminologies. But always all the cases same, again the same method for prediction, analysis, classification, clustering, segmentation, object detection, all the case same, again the machine learning algorithms only used. Sometimes some statistical methods are more used in the some kind of area like data science kind of thing, but statistical methods is available in machine learning also, and probability based methods also available, data driven approaches also available. Okay, so which one they want, you then need to use it. So here basically in the machine learning, unsupervised supervised learning techniques is there. So mostly 60 to 70% of the people they use this supervised and unsupervised learning techniques, and some of the people they use the reinforcement learning algorithm, and other people they use the ensemble methods. So ensemble methods means instead of using the single classification method, okay, they use the combination of the multiple methods to get the better accuracy and better performance. Okay, so in that different methods are available, bagging, boosting kind of thing. So here also I'm not going deeply. Then why the importance came to ensemble methods is, for example, any person working on some application with his own idea or his own method, so that once applying his method, you will need to quantify his method with help of the some metrics. So that metrics he can use the accuracy or error kind of thing. For example, after he applying the some XYZ method on some application, so he get the some accuracy or error, maybe he get the 86% of accuracy. Then you also interested in the same application, you chosen some, you build the some other method, the method name is ABC, it's your own method. Then you apply it in the same application or same database, you also getting 86% percentage or 85%. Then you are getting either same or less than the one. Then how can you claim it your method is much better than the existing one? It's not possible, because you are getting the same or less than one. If you're getting the more means 90% or above 87, above 86% you're getting, means you can easily claim it your method is much better than existing one. But it's not happened. Then what you need to do, you need to increase the further of your method accuracy. So instead of using the single classification method, you can use a combination of other methods also, and each method will be produce some output. Maybe you can use some nice combining mechanism or techniques you need to apply it to conclude the final decision. Then based on that, for example, you are getting the 89% after combining with all the methods by using the voting or majority kind of techniques. Then finally you can conclude your method is much better than existing one. So like that, different ways to combine the methods. So that is one way of combining bagging. Another way is the boosting. In boosting also different types are available: ADA boost, XGBoost, boost, cat boost kind of thing. Bagging, random forest one of method is available to bagging the data. So like this, methods are available in the supervised and unsupervised learning techniques, or ensemble methods, or reinforcement learning methods. Now I give the more clarity on what is the difference between the supervised and unsupervised learning techniques, and what is going on internally inside, and what are the stages are available in the supervised and unsupervised learning techniques. I will give the clarity on here. For example, here I am taking the two cases. In the case one, I am taking the one box of the fruits. Okay, so here different type of the fruits are available. You can assume it mainly three different type of the bunch of fruits are available. So what is the three types? Apple, banana, oranges. So remaining fruits, you can ignore it. Only 3 different type of the fruits is there. So that also multiple number of fruits are available. Then my task is I need to separate these fruits based on the which are having the similar kind of thing. Then that purpose I chosen the one person. So you can assume it this person is came from the different planet. So he actually don't know about these items. What are these items? These are the eatable items or not? And what is the name of the items also? Actually, he don't know about these things. Then I given that task to him. Then what he will do? First, he will take the one fruit that is maybe banana and keep it as a in separate place. So next time again he take the one more fruit that is banana is selected and compare with the already separated one. So when you're comparing means you can use the any kind of similarity matrix or dissimilar kind of matrix you can use. You can compare one with another one. So both are matching. Then what will happen in conclude? Okay, both are the similar. Okay, both are keep together. Next, you pick the another fruit. Maybe instead of the banana, next time you can select the fruit name is apple. So compare with the banana. So it is not matching up to mark. Then what you will do? You will keep separate. Okay. Next, you can select the another fruit that is the apple. Compare with already separated groups is called the banana and separated one apple. Both are compared. In this both cases, which is the more closest one? Obviously, apple is the more closest one. So you will assign to the apple. Next time you will pick the oranges group and compare with the banana, compare with apple, compare with these two. So among these two, it is not matching up to mark. Then because of maybe the color difference or maybe texture difference, he will separate it as a another group. So like that, he is taking the one by one fruit from the box and which are already separated our group is there, then compare with the already separated groups and which are the more closest one is identified. So based on the closeness one, they will assign as the nearest group. So like that one by one is assigned. So after assigning all the fruits are completed, finally if he form the one group is here, one group is here, one group is here. So this group they will call as the C1, this group is called as a C2, this group is called as a C3. Okay, so that is happened in the case 1. Now come to the case 2. In the second case also I'm taking the some bunch of fruits. You can assume it 3 different type of fruits are available. So one is the instead of the kiwi fruit, you can assume it is the banana fruit. Okay, along with the fruits, okay, I provided fruit names also, like this is oranges, apples, banana. So like this along with the fruit, I give the fruit name also. Okay, then what will happen? So you can, this is the box 1. So I given the fruits along with the fruits names also given. Then I selected the same person. Then once he is seeing that the fruits and the fruits name, he will do the some analysis kind of in his brain. So analysis means he will train the brain. Train the brain means tuning the brain. How it will tune? So yellow color, this much height and this much width is there. Then people call as a banana. And red color round shape is there. Then people call as a apple. And orange and different texture is there. That is called the oranges. So like that, this type of the information is feed into the in his brain. Okay, that time when he's feeding the brain means the brain is training is going on. It is create the one kind of model is nothing but it creates some set of rules kind of thing. So next time what I'm doing, I'm choosing the another box that is called the box 2. So my main motivation is of this thing is you need to separate this box to fruits. So here also you can assume 3 different type of the fruits is there. Remaining you can ignore it. Okay, so already he knows, his brain is tuned or trained and generate the model means generate the rules. How it is generate rules? Yellow color, this much height and this much width is there. Then people call as it is banana, and this is also banana, and this is also banana, and this is apple. It is apple. It is oranges. It is orange. So I given the task to you need to classify. You need to separate the box to data. Then what he is doing, you need to separate the data means he just generate the labels for the data. How it generate the labels? Because his brain already tuned, means trained one. So after training, it's get the some model kind of thing, means some set of rules is formed. So based on rules, he will generate the labels. Okay. So This is happen in the case 2. Now case 1 come. Case 1, what will happen? One box is there. Box is nothing but the data. How the my data look like? It is the data with unlabels. There is no labels. I'm not given this is apple or this is banana, this is oranges. The type of the information I'm never provided in this case. So only have the data is there. How the my data look like? This unlabeled data. There is no labels. So where the your data available and that too unlabeled data is available, then you can go for the unsupervised learning methods. So where the data is there, that data how it is look like is the unlabeled data. Then you can go for unsupervised learning technique. Unsupervised learning techniques we can call as the clustering. So clustering is not is what? Clustering is the process of grouping the set of objects into the group of similar objects. So your clustering is what you're doing is the one process of grouping the set of data objects. You're forming the group. How you're forming the which are the objects belongs to that group. All are contain the similar properties. You take here in the first C1 cluster. You make as a one group means one cluster. So how this cluster look like? What are the objects is there in the cluster? All are having the similar properties. Similar properties means what? What is contained the here? Bananas is there. See, for example, here one red color apple is there, one yellow color banana is there. So can you tell me how to discriminate these two fruits? Any answer?
Based on the features,
Based on the features. So what type of the features you need to select?
maybe the length of the fruit or the shape of the fruit.
Length, shape, any other?
Color of the fruit,
Color,
texture.
texture. So like this, I said your properties, you means your features, what I said in the text or in the signal case or in the person case, that you need to give the more unique information among the within the class, and it will give the more discrimination information between the classes kind of thing. So that type of the properties you need to extract. For example, here one of the person is given that this is the properties I need to extract. For example, I chosen the one property, this is called the sweet. So the sweetness of the property really helpful to discriminate that these two fruits is possible or not?
No, sir.
No, because you're choosing the sweetness means the apple also sweet and banana also sweet. So this property will not help you. For example, you choose in the shape. Shape is nothing but you can assume it is the same length and shape is both are same. Otherwise, instead of length you can take diameter kind of thing or width kind of thing. Okay. And next another one is the color. So obviously we know what is the color of the apple means everyone say it is a red color, and what is the color of banana means it is yellow color. Okay. So texture also maybe you can assume it apple texture and banana texture is different. So like this you're taking these properties to uniquely identify the objects. It will give the more discrimination among the objects. So for example, first color is taking. Color means what? So red color is there, I take the value is 2, and yellow color the value is 8, for example. So this is case of color. In case of next shape. So shape means banana will be more height, then you can take 9 or 8 kind of thing, and apple is less height, so maybe take 4 or 5 kind of thing. Next, for example, width is taken. So apple is contains the more width, then banana is very less. Banana the width range 1 to 5 and shape range 1 to 10 is taken. So 1 to 5 means the width of the banana is small, 2 is taking, and apple width is more, you take the 5 kind of thing. So like this you have this type of the information is available. So you need to extract the properties of the apple means what you take. For example, first you are taking the color. What is the color of the apple? And what is the shape of the apple? 4. And what is the width of the apple? 5. And similarly you can extract the properties for the your another fruit, banana. So here what type of the properties you are extracting, because you are comparing these two. So definitely the same properties you need to extract for the whole data, and the same number of properties and same sequence also. Same sequence means, for example, it is color, it is shape, it is width. Same here also in the another fruit case. First you need to extract the color, shape, width kind of thing. So color of the banana, what? Yellow color. It is 8. And next, what is the feature? Shape. Shape of the banana is 9. And next, width the banana is 2. So like this, you can extract it. So entire database, same type of the properties and same number of properties and same sequence of the properties you need to extract. Okay. Then after, okay, suppose if I given the one information like this, so that is 8, 8, 3. Can you tell me this is belongs to the what type of the fruit? It is apple or banana?
Banana.
Banana. So how you know it is banana? Because this one and it is compared with the another, what is the apple is there, what is the banana data is available, and compare with this both, and which is how the minimum distance is there, means which are the most similarities there. You can identify, you can use the different similarity metrics like Euclid norm and Mahalan distance, or maybe cosine similarity kind of thing, or any other kind of similarity metrics you can apply. So you can find out the which is the closest one. So based on that, okay, so based on that you can find out the which is the closest one. So obviously this is closest to the banana only, you can conclude it is banana. So like that you are comparing one by one with another which are available database, then based on that you can conclude that are close. So that is we did in this case of first case where you are doing the clustering. Okay, so the features representation, one of the important thing. So what type of the properties you are extracted, how many properties you extracted, what is the sequence of the properties you extracted, same sequence, same number of properties, and same properties you need to follow for the whole entire database. Okay, so here once you are identifying the based on the similarity, you make it as a group. Okay, so once you are identify the group, then what you are doing, you get the, you are assigning the some label to the your entire group. So the label is called the cluster name. So here you are generating the cluster name is what, internally which are the object belongs to that cluster, all the objects are shared the cluster name as the object names. So what is this object name? C1. What is this object name? C1. What is this object name? C1. Because all these objects are belongs to the same cluster. So which are the cluster name is there, that are all the objects share the cluster name as the object's name. So here what is this object name? C3. What is the object name? This one, C3. And here C2, C2, C2. So internally you are generating the labels for the your data here. So you are doing clustering means you are making it a grouping means the grouping I am showing visual representation purpose, but internally what will happen? You are generating the labels for the data. So that is going on in the unsupervised learning case. For example, in case 2, I said here one box is there. This is data. So how my data look like? So along with the fruits, what I am giving, fruit names also I am giving. The fruit names is nothing but the labels. So when the data is there, the data contain the labels information. Okay, then we can go for the supervised learning algorithm. Supervised learning algorithm we can call as the classification problem. Okay, so where the data is available, that is the how the data look like, it's contain the labels information. So when the label data is there, then we can go for the supervised classification, supervised method. So supervised methods we can call as the classification problem. Okay, so here data is there, that is labels, that is box 1. This data we can call as a trained data. In the classification kind of problems, we have the two types of data is there. One is a trained data, another one is test data. Okay, so trained data we can use it here. In the box 1 data we can call as a trained data. In the box 2 data we can call as a test data. So test data also labels is available. Okay, but my task is, for given a test data, we need to generate the labels. We need to separate the test data means you are generating the labels for the test data. Okay, so with help of this trained data, then what we'll do is what is doing, how the labels is there and fruits is there. So based on that, he is tuning this brain. How it's tuning this brain? Is training this brain. How what is generated after training? It generates the one model kind of thing. What type of the model is formed the some rules kind of thing. What type of rules? The yellow color, this much height is there, then people call as the banana. And round shape, red color color is there, then people call as the apple. So like that, he formed the rules. That is when it is happened after the training is happened. So training he generate the some rules is called that is training will be generate the some model. Okay, so once you are training the data, what will give output, that we can call as the model. Next, what you are doing, you are taking these test samples. I want to classify these test samples. So what is doing in the classification is generate the labels for the test data. So this test data given to this model. Okay, so test data given to this model. Okay, then model what it will do, it generate the labels for the given test data. So these labels we can call as the predictor labels. But I said test data already have the labels is there. What is these labels? These are the actual labels or virginal labels. So what is use of these actual labels and virginal labels? Just you get the predictor label, but you want to quantify the your method, how much better results getting. How much better results are getting with the help of this one. So you need to quantify it. How they will quantify? So based on the some metrics are available like accuracy, error, precision, recall, F1 measure, sensitivity, specificity. So many methods are available. So based on that, they will compare the your actual labels with the predictor labels. Okay, both are after comparing, then you will get the some output. So when which are the correctly matching, then you can say that are the accuracy will give, which are not correctly matching, you can project in another way, that will give the error kind of thing. Okay, so like this they will compare the accuracy or error kind of thing. So this is the going on here, supervised and unsupervised learning technique. So in the both the cases, what is going on, generating the labels for the given data. So how it is generating the labels? So the simple thing in the what are the stages is there in the supervised learning algorithm is, for example, first training data is there. So how the my training data is the label data only. Then after that we extract in the some properties, that is called the feature representation. So what type of the properties you need to extract, that I said already, that depending on the what type of the data you using, that related properties only need to extract. So that is image related or text related or maybe signal related, that related properties only need to extract. And before properties extraction, another stage is there, that is called the pre-processing stage. So what is the meaning of pre-processing stage? Means pre-processing means before actual work or before your actual task, you want to perform some operations on your data, then that is called the pre-processing method. Before you want to perform your actual task, you have performed some operations on your data. So what is my actual task is, for example, I want to identify the tumor or cancer in the ultrasound images or organ. So for that identification, what will happen? Normally, ultrasound image means it is content of full of noise information kind of thing. So it's very difficult to detect any organ or any ulcer or cancer kind of thing. So with help of when you're using like this type of images, your accuracy will be decreased because of this noise information. So that is your main task. So what you are doing? First, you can remove this. What is the noise is available in that image? You remove the noise. That is, we can apply the denoising techniques kind of thing. But what is your actual task? Actual task, you need to identify the tumor or cancer kind of thing. So in that scenario, you want to identify the tumor or cancer kind of thing. So in that case, you are applying the denoising technique. The denoising technique is the pre-processing technique for this one. So before actual work, you want to perform some operations on your data, that is called your pre-processing method. Suppose you have the different sizes of images are available. Different sizes of images means image is nothing but what? Two-dimensional data. Like two-dimensional means it is contains the matrix. It is look like a matrix and it contains the rows and columns kind of thing. Okay. So for example, this matrix is size of 10 cross 10. Another matrix of size is 11 cross 11 is there. And another one matrix size of 12 cross 12 is there, for example. So in this 10 rows, 10 columns is there in case of 10 cross 10. So total how many values? 100. In case of 11 cross 11, 121. And in case of 12 cross 12, 144. So this many values means it is a vector. You can consider 100 cross 1 or 121 cross 1 or 144 cross 1. So in this case, different sizes are available. Then this all different sizes vectors, can you keep it into the single matrix? It is possible or not? It is not possible because all are have the different sizes is there. So different sizes data will not fit into the single matrix. So what you need to do? Definitely you can resize all the data, all the images into either 10 cross 10 or either 11 cross 11 or either 12 cross 12. So you can bring all the images into the equal size. So that is called the image, one type of the normalization only. So you are bringing this kind of applying normalizing the images. So that is also one type of pre-processing technique. So there is no fixed kind of the methods are available for pre-processing kind of things. Any method you can apply. Any technique you can apply as a pre-processing technique. Sometimes main methods also you can apply. Main methods means the clustering method. Okay. So when you're applying the clustering, for example, you want to apply some method or logic on your data. So what type of data is required? Label data required. So after the label data, you can apply the some XYZ kind of concept or operations on the data. But what type of the data is available for you? Unlabeled data is available. So it is not possible to apply your modification or your method on unlabeled data. It's not possible. Then what you will do? Simply you can generate the label for the unlabeled data. Then you will get the labels. So once you're getting the labels, then easily you can apply your what are the thinking, what method you need to apply. You can apply it on the labels. Okay. So this is the when you're applying the labels to the once you have generated the labels, you can apply in your method. Then definitely it will be get the your labels will be generated. Then you can apply your technique on that one. So here what you is using to generate the labels from the unlabeled data, then you apply some clustering technique. So clustering, I said unsupervised is giving generate the labels for the data, it's generated labels, then the label you can use it. So like that you can generate the label as clustering method as a pre-processing technique. So that is optional only, it is not compulsory. Where it is required, you can apply this pre-processing techniques. Okay. Then after that, you extracting the properties, then you can use any classification methods in supervised case like support vector machine classifier is there, neural network classifier is there, decision trees is there, navigation classifier is there, many other type of techniques are available. So any method you are using, based on this trained data, it will be generate the model. So I said in the person is tuning this brain means what it generate the model. So here model is nothing but what set of parameters and set of rules. You can use it, you can call as a set of rules also. And between the model generation and feature representation, another intermediate stage is there, that is called the dimensionality reduction. Suppose you feel your dimensionality of your data is more, and because of dimensionality, sometimes what will happen, it will not give the better results due to more dimensionality. More dimensionality means what happened, it is contain some redundant information, or maybe it is the irrelevant information is there. Then what you need to do, you need to reduce the dimensionality. How you can reduce the dimensionality? You can apply some dimensionality reduction kind of techniques. So basically dimensional reduction, two ways you can do, that is called the feature selection, another is the feature extraction kind of methods. So feature selection means, for example, how the n number of properties is there. So in this you are selecting the m number of properties. M is much less than n. So what happened here, you are selected the properties dimensionality is much less than the already extracted properties dimensionality. So how you selected this m? It is the only some part of the n only. M is the subset of n only. So that you can use some criteria like subset selection kind of criteria or method, you can use it. And based on that, you can select the best m possible features only. So this is comes under the feature selection. In feature extraction means, so here also n number of properties is there. You can get the m number of properties. You choose the m number of properties. So m is much less than n. Then how you find the m number of properties is, you can use the transformation or projection kind of concept used in this case. So feature extraction means what? Any transformation or projection kind of methods to use to reduce the dimensionality. So that's the reason here n dimensional data is projected into the m dimensional data. M is much less than n, then dimensionality is reduced. So in this case, different type of ways methods are available to reduce the dimensionality in the feature extraction. like principal component analysis methods, linear discriminant analysis method, quadratic discriminant analysis methods, independent component analysis methods. So like this, many methods are using in the transformation. But you remember here one point. The thing is, when you are using this feature selection, the reverse is not possible. Reverse is not possible means this m number of, with help of the m number of features, you can't get the n number of properties related information. That is not possible. But in case of feature extraction, reverse case also possible. Means this m number, with help of the m number of properties, we can identify or we can get the all the n number of properties related information. So this is because of projection you are getting like that kind of information. Okay, so that's the reason in a feature extraction methods, reconstruction kind of thing is possible. Image reconstruction means you can bring it to the original size. Okay, so like this, you have the dimensional reduction is there. This is optional change. You want to reduce any dimensionality, you can apply until how much dimensionality you can reduce it. Okay, then next here, for example, in this scenario, is the classification problem. You have the training and test samples. Is the test samples also contain the labels information, and in the training phase you apply the particular pre-processing kind of methods. Then in the test data, on the test data also you need to apply the same type of the pre-processing method. Suppose in a training database there is no pre-processing method are applied particularly. So in the test case also no need to apply the any pre-processing method. Then after that, what you need to do, you can extract the properties. What type of the properties you are extracted for the training data? The same type of the properties you need to extract it. Then after extracting the properties, suppose in your training data you reduce the any dimensionality, any particular dimensional reduction method applied, the same way, same method and same number of dimensions you need to reduce on the test sample also. Suppose you are not applying any dimension reduction for your training data, then for test sample no need to apply. Then what will happen, given that this dimension reduction to the once you are not applied any dimension reduction, then you can directly features given to the model. Then model it will do, or it will be generate the labels for a given test samples. So these labels we can call as the predictor labels. Then already test labels, test data have the labels is there, that we can call as the actual labels. So this actual labels compare with the predicted labels, then based on that they will calculate the accuracy or error kind of the information. So these are the stages is going on the supervised learning algorithms. Okay, for example, my data is 2-class classification data, linear classifier data. So that is, one is the place class is there, another one is the minus class is there. Okay, so in case of clustering, what you are doing, you are taking the one object, compare with another objects with comparing the another objects means what, you can calculate the distance from one object to the another objects. Okay, and identify the which is the minimum distance is there, means which is the minimum close, which is the content the closeness of the data. So based on that you can make it as a group, you are forming the clusters. Okay, so after the all the data points are completed, then based on that what will happen, this one will get as a one group, this data points are get as another group, because all are the that which are the group contain the all the objects are the similar properties is there. For this group you are given the name as a C1, this group name you can given as a C2. You can observe it in the cluster C1, what are the data items are available, all are having the similar properties, because all are having the plus properties. And which is the cluster C2 contain all are the objects of the minus properties. Okay, that's you are make it as a another group. Okay, like this two groups are occurred in the unsupervised learning methods. In case of supervised learning methods, what is going on here also, you can assume it 2 classes linear data is available, one is the place class, another is the minus class. Okay, so in that case normally what is going on, this is your training data, you are taking the training data and you can tune the your brain. How you are tune the brain, your brain is training is going on. So at that after the training what will happen, it will generate the model. So after generate a model means what is going on, it is construct the one line. So this line we can call as the hyperplane or decision boundary or model, you can use any name. So what is going on at the time of constructing the decision boundary or constructing hyperplanar decision boundary? What is going on? It will be generate the model. Okay. So that model also we can call this hyperplanar decision boundary or model. So model is nothing but is contain the set of parameters which are tuned parameters is there that will be stored in the model, or it is nothing but a set of rules. What type of the rules? For example, any sample, any test sample you take above the line, then you can consider that is as a plus class. Any sample you take as a below line, you can consider as a negative class. So you can observe it. For example, these are the my test samples. So in that case, one sample is above the line. Then what I need to conclude that class name of for that sample. So above line means that is belongs to the which class is the plus class. And another sample, another test case where it is available, it is below the line. So below the line means what? It is the native class. So like that we can take the decisions based on this hyperplanar decision boundary or model. So model is nothing but it contains a set of parameters and it is contains the set of rules. So based on that you are taking this decision making kind of thing. Okay. Normally any classification methods like support vector machine classifier or neural network kind of classification, at the time of training they will do, they will construct the discrimination function. So that is we can call it g of x equal to w transpose x plus b. So here w is nothing but the weight matrix, x is the input data, and b is the bias kind of thing. So this your training phase, you're constructing this one means your training model is going on means what this is constructed. This construction means what? Here y equal to mx plus c. What is this? It is the line equation. So you can compare both are same or different. M is the slope, x is the input, c is the intersect point. So m is similarly w is slope, x is the input, b is the intersect point. So both are look like a same. So you're generating the discrimination function means what? In case of linear data, definitely it is constructed this linear classifier. So it will be internally what is going on. It's constructed this line. This line is nothing but hyperplanar decision boundary. So with help of this hyperplane only, you can take the decisions. Okay. So this is going on internally in the supervised and unsupervised learning techniques and methods. So if you have any queries and any doubts is there, you can ask to me here. Any doubts, any queries, you can ask to me.
Participants, any queries?
No, sir.
So if no doubts, I will ask the one doubt. So I said in the classification, two types of data sets is there, training and testing. And one more data set is there. What is that another data set?
Participants, please respond.
So another data set also is there. I said in the classification only two types of data is there. One is training and testing. Other than these two, one more data set also available. That is called the validation data. So what is the validation data is? It's not the separate data kind of thing. It is a part of the training data only. So training data, what you are doing, you are training the model. So you want to bring your model is in better way. You want to tune your model. Then what will happen? This validation data used as a test sample. Okay. Then based on that, your model will be tuned every time. So it's not the separate data is a part of training data only. Maybe 20% of the samples out of this whole training data samples, they will select the 20% or 10% of the samples to the validation data at the time of the training. Okay, to build your model is a better way. Then what they will do, this validation data they use as a normally test data kind of thing. Then they will tune their model itself. Then finally, after tuning, our model is perfectly trained. Next year, they give the test samples to your tuned model, then model will be generate the labels for the your test sample. So that is going on here in the classification. So that is not the separate data set. It is a part of the training data only. Okay. Suppose in another question, so here my discrimination function, or maybe I'm constructing a line y equal to mx plus c. So if I'm not taken the c, then what will happen? What is the meaning of that one? Suppose if you're not taken C means what? So you are what you are taking the data. So in the sample space, my data is anywhere. Maybe here, like this is there. So you're taking the equal to mx means there is no C, it's not taken means always your hyperplane pass with the origin only. Then what will happen? It's correctly classifying, half of the data is misclassified. Means it's not properly trained. Okay, because our data is anywhere in the sample space, maybe not only like this, maybe our data is like this also is there anywhere. Then here also you can take the y equal to mx means your hyperplane pass with the origin. Then what will happen? Entire one class will be wrongly misclassified kind of thing. Okay, so like this, so instead of that one, y can take the your mx plus c means the c is the intersect point, so your hyperplane will be go anywhere, any place, anywhere. So like this, now it is construct the hyperplane like this. Then it will display the discrimination among these two classes. So this thing is this hyperplane construction, Dishabur construction. It will going on at the time of training the model. Then based on this model itself, if you given the test sample, it will be to the classification. So here after the taking the training data on this one, the fruits case, then what will happen? How the data is there, labels is there, based on that is tuned his brain, means it is trained the model. Next, if you given the box to data, in the box to data what is there, that's only like a test sample kind of thing, then it will be generate the labels for the test samples. Okay, so that is going on in the classification. Okay, so it is clear.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So here many different type of the methods are available. As in machine learning kind of thing, like probability based methods, that is called the Naive classification method, and decision trees based methods. I think yesterday Subramanian sir is discussed about the decision tree based methods. Uh, in the decision tree based, instead of the one hyperplane, it is contain the multiple decisions and multiple hyperplanes. And next, dimension reduction methods are also available to reduce the dimensionality of your data. So different type of dimension reduction methods are available. I said basically it is a two type of dimensional reduction. What is the feature selection and is the feature extraction. So here I'm showing these are the feature extraction related kind of thing. So in this feature extraction case, they will use the transformation and or maybe they will use the projection kind of thing. Okay. So maybe if anyone is handling these sessions, it's fine. Next, another type of the method, instance-based methods are is there. So this instance-based methods we can call as another one is it is also statistical-based methods. So one of the method is called the KNN classification method. It is we can call as the lazy learner kind of thing. So basically two types of learners is there. One is the lazy learner, another is the active learners. So the active learners, at the time of the training time, they will learn the model and it will be test sample. If you're given the test sample, it will be generate the label for test sample with a less amount of time. But training time will be taken more time in case of the normal learning kind of algorithm. In case of lazy learners, is the reverse process. So what will happen? Training time it will not take much. Just will be load the data, but test time it will be take more time. Okay, so like that KNN classification method is there. It is based on the neighbors information. It will be decide the class labels. So that is one way of technique they use based on how the surrounding neighbors is there. So based on that they will take their decisions. Okay. Next, another kind of the methods is called unsupervised learning methods. So maybe it's next class I will next session I will go for this unsupervised learning methods, which are the different type of unsupervised learning methods is available. Where the unlabeled data is there, then you can go for the unsupervised learning techniques like partition based clustering methods and hierarchy based clustering methods, density based clustering methods, grid based clustering methods, and graphical based model based clustering methods. Okay, so and another type of the methods are, for example, in the classification itself, your data is the continuous data. Then they will go for the regression kind of models. So today maybe already Radhakrishna sir is covered in the regression related kind of the concepts. And rule-based methods is there like association rule mining, zero rule kind of methods. And another type of the classification methods are neural networks is there. How the human biological neurons are working. The same way they develop the artificial neurons. Okay, so same how the brain simulations is going on, means parallel computing can distributed manner. Same way they will construct this neural network concept to simulate and to predict or analysis kind of the applications. Next, another thing is ensemble methods are available. I said different instead of using single classifier, they use the combination of multiple classifier to combine the all the methods existing one. So that is our ensemble methods is available. Next, deep learning based methods. So deep learning is the extension part of the neural network only. So many layers used before the neural network layer to get the better feature representation that will give the most scale invariant kind of feature representation. So because of that one, they will get the better results than the traditional machine learning algorithms at present now. Okay, so these are the methods available in the all the machine learning kind of techniques. So my question is, what is the importance of the these algorithms? Why it is required? What is the importance other than automation? Any other? So normally using this machine learning algorithm, we are doing the automation kind of thing. Other than automation, any usage is there? Any importance is there? For example, one room is there. Okay, so in this room, thousands of millions of images are available. Okay, suppose I given the one task to you. The task is I given one image, so you go and search in that room which are the similar type of the images is there, you can bring back to me. Then what will happen? You accept the task and you enter into the room and you are searching one by one image. So in that room, actually how many images are available? Thousands of millions of images are available. Then how many days it will take to complete the task? It will take many days. So what will happen? Your performance will be decreased. And what about accuracy? So you are searching one by one in that many images. Maybe sometimes what will happen? You are unable to identify whether the both are the same or not. Okay, so your accuracy also decrease. So both performance will be decreased, accuracy is decreased. So next, what I thought, instead of images giving in that room, instead of like that, then I will arrange the each class or each category of images into the one rack. So like this, you are taking the different racks kind of thing, and each rack is assigned as a one almara kind of thing. So this is for the first one is the flower related images. Next one is the car related images. Next one is the bike related images. Next one is the sports related images. So like this, one by one category related data will be stored into the particular almara. Next, same task I given the flower related images to you. Then you are entering into the room to search the images in that room which are the images are available. So just you can see the entire room, 10 different type of the racks are available. In that rack, first one is the flower related images and remaining are the not the flower related images. So no need to search in the remaining racks. Then you can open the first rack itself. So in that only flower related images are available. So what will happen? No need to search for the remaining racks, means definitely your performance will be increased. Then what about accuracy? So accuracy is definitely it will be increased. How it is increased accuracy? Because all the image belongs to the track is related to the flower related images only. Then definitely you will get the output as a flower related images.
Sir, in
So,
chat box, some of the queries itself, sir, in chat box.
but in full screen mode, I am unable to see the
Okay, no
chat.
problem. They answer in the chat box, sir. No problem, sir. Using different classification methodologies to deal with high dimension data, we can apply classification regression to new unseen data. Okay, sir. Okay.
So once I will complete it, I will go back to check the chart.
Yeah.
I will give
Thank
the
you, sir. Thank you.
So like this, you are arranging your data in properly. So definitely what will happen, you will get the better accuracy and better performance results. So apparently from 4 years onwards, we are seeing every person have the smartphone is there and every phone conducts some internet connection kind of thing. So this 4 years onwards, we are observing a lot of internet usage is going on in India, especially they mainly small kid onwards to until some aged person, from morning wake up time to until sleeping time. So every day they are using the minimum 3 different type of the apps applications kind of thing, like Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, and any other also they using Twitter kind of thing, or maybe Instagram kind of thing. So like this apps they are using, then what is going on, what is happened. And many times when I'm organizing the workshop in NIT Warangal, or maybe when I'm going outside the colleges to take the sessions. So when I'm organizing here, what will happen? Many participants came from the different places. So they will listen the talks. Then after the talks is completed, then evening 5 o'clock, they will roaming the entire campus. And what they will do, they will take the photos. Then what they will do the photos. And not only that one, when I'm going in other colleges, I will quickly complete the breaks and tea break or lunch break. Then immediately I will sit in the same seminar hall. Then many participants came from the different places also. What they will do, they will again take the photos. Then what they will do, so not only that one, it train days small kid also. For example, when I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Warangal in festival season, a small kid is there, is the first class student kid, is asking the mobile phone from his mother. Then ask, why you require the mobile phone? He given answer, I want to send the WhatsApp message to my friend. So that much of small age to until age people, they're using this many apps, this much data transferring. Then what is happened? Data is coming any everywhere is more. Day by day is increasing more. Like which are the apps they are using, like Google or Facebook, YouTube or Twitter, anything. Lot of data transformation is going on. So suppose you are searching some items in the Google. So which item you are searching? So within first page, most of the links are more closely related. Next, you are going for another links, then what will happen? That are not related to the data, not related to the your searching item. Then how much accurate getting their items? Because of the you are searching this item means how they are getting these items more accurately. Because they are organized data, because of their organized, you are getting the better results. So that's why I'm suggesting you need to organize the data. For organizing purpose, these machine learning techniques are required. Like I shown in that room itself, they will first not organize data, next organize as some groups kind of thing. Then immediately that accuracy and performance is increasing. But here you can see day by day what are the technologies came that is giving the more improvement. That we can call as the machines are learning. But what happened in humans case, it is the humans are hooked. The technologies day by day is giving the more improvements, means machines are learning, but that machines are learning means the intelligence is coming more with machines, but it makes the humans too lazy kind of thing. The simple example, in you can consider that 20 or 25 years back, that time there is no that much of mobile usage kind of thing. So what will happen? We have the landline phones is there, and every home, at least every person, they remember the minimum 10 numbers of their family landline numbers or friends landline numbers, along with their district codes also. But at its present scenario, you can ask your parents or your brother or sister phone number. It's very difficult to tell that number. Immediately you can open the phone book or you can see the phone number and you are telling. Then why this happen? This technologies affect our thinking knowledge. Next, another kind of thing is simply in those days we are doing the any calculation kind of thing like multiplication kind of applications. We can do in our brain with the more complicated one. More complicated means 4-digit or 3-digit multiplications also we can do in our brain. For example, if you want to do, if we are given the simple multiplication also like 2-digit multiplication or 1-digit multiplication also, then what will happen? Immediately your hand will go into the packet. It is open your mobile phone. In mobile also you can open your calculator and just you are typing simple 1-digit multiplication or 2-digit multiplication kind of thing also. Without thinking, you are taking this type of the actions. Why it's happening? Because that your technology increasing, but your just you can that technology make as a lazy person. Okay, so this is going on. It's what will happen because of this one. It affecting the our future. How it is affecting our future? Because we can see in the Amazon parcel centers, big centers, the humans are not involved to the shift the items to the particular destination related address. Who will allocate that one? With the help of the robots only it will do the allocation. Then what will happen? The human jobs are replaced with the AI technology only. In previously in the customer care services also, your people is there, they will give the response or help to the their customers with help of the customer calls. But nowadays what they're using the like chatbot kind of thing is there, a digitally recorded chat kind of they're using to provide the services to their customers kind of thing. So that is going on in present days. So most of the places humans are replaced with the this AI technology. Okay, so that is going on here. And what is the main difference between the what are the traditional programming languages and machine learning? So traditional programming language means is nothing but you are using the programming language C or C++ or any programming language, and your machine learning. So mostly, yeah. Any answer?
So in traditional programming language, we have to write the program from scratch.
Okay.
Whereas in machine learning, we're expecting that the machine should fetch the features automatically by building the mathematical relationship between the input and output.
That is not machine do. You also need to extract your own.
Yeah.
That is machine not extract. We need to extract our own also.
But some at some places, like for the computer vision kind of projects, it's a bit difficult to write a program from scratch. But if we use the machine
No,
learning,
that is depending on you. You writing difficulty means you need to write the starting canvas. So, for example, you are using existing method or existing algorithm means that is also somebody is written already. How they written from scratch and also only they written.
yeah,
In
that's right.
C++ program also, no need to write the entire scratch and verse. You are nowadays you are available. The predefined libraries are available.
Mhm.
Like for example, in math library.
We are expecting that machine should learn themselves. We are actually in traditional program. We are not expecting that it should apply it for the unseen data. Where here we are expecting that it should apply for the unseen or the unknown data, whatever the machine has
Unknown
learned.
data machine learning also not work up to mark. For example, in you are taking the test sample. For example, my task is you need to classify the whether given input is banana or apple. So database already taken the banana fruits and apple fruits. Suppose I'm giving my input is the like another mango is giving, then it will detect the it is a mango or apple or banana. Other than these
Okay.
two fruits, if you given any fruit also, it will detect of the either apple or it is banana only. You can given the watermelon also, it will detect any one of this. It will give the name as the either apple or banana.
Yeah, but I think here in machine learning we are trying to mimic like a brain that like the human brain, whereas we expect that it should behave like a human brain.
Yeah, you'll see what is the difference here.
Hello.
So yeah.
Sir, in traditional programming, it is a manual process
Hmm.
in which we code the one program
Hmm.
and we can give the input and program and then we get output. While in machine learning, we know we give both input and output what we are expected, and then it gives us a program.
Okay. So normally what is going on here at traditional programming and machine learning is, so in programming language, you are talking about that one. Normally you are all of the faculty, maybe in your college time or maybe in your teaching time, you can at least one time you can learn or teach kind of this programming language. So in that programming language, for example, you can take C or C++. Normally it's contains the some lab sessions also is there. In the lab sessions, you can give the some one kind of the program to the students. What is the type of the program? You need given the program like this. That is, for a given input, you need to identify that is the prime number or not. Okay. So how the student will be start the implementing that program? First, he will take the input. So input what will take? Some 5 is taken. Next, what he will do for finding that this number is the prime number or not, he need to write the program. In that program, he will write the logic kind of thing. Okay. These two is given to the computer. So computer will be evaluate these things and it will give the some output. So what is the output? Is taken input 5 means definitely will give the output is the prime number. Okay, so this happen in the normal traditional programming language. Now comes to the machine learning. Then what they're doing along with the input, here also will take the input. For example, 5 is taken along with the input. He will take the output also. Output is nothing but what is the output of this input. So 5 is input. What is the output of this one? The label. The label means what? It is the prime. So along with the input, he will take the output and both are given to the computer with help of the some mechanism or methods which are the related to the supervised and unsupervised learning technique. Then what will happen? It will be generate the program. Here program is nothing but what? Model. Model is nothing but what? Set of rules or set of properties. Then next, if you any new data is there, then that new data given to this model will be do the predicting the output for the new data. Okay, so this is happen in the machine learning. The main difference, you are taking the input, along with the input you are giving the output as a input to your computer. Computer will be generate the program in the machine learning. But in case of traditional programming, you are taking the inputs as a input and your program, then computer will generate the output. So here giving the output as a input. So this is the main difference between the traditional programming and machine learning algorithms. Okay, so this is going on. So still now what I given the here inputs is how the data is there. I said initially data is any form. So based on the data or based on the methods also, they given the different terminologies which are using in that data. So my data is maybe signals. Signals is anything like, for example, you're talking or you are singing, that will be stored in the form of signal only. Or maybe health related means ECG signals is there, EEG signals is there, that is also signals. Okay, it is the one-dimensional data, it is continuous data. For example, here maybe your data is another form, that is maybe images. Or the images also different types are available, like color images, grayscale images, binary images, and maybe some images related to the natural images, some images related to medical related images are also available. Next, videos related data like CCTV footage related videos data, or text documents related data. So your data is any type. Okay, first you need to identify that is the labeled data is given or unlabeled data is given. So what type of the data they produce? If the labeled data is given, then you can go for the unsupervised learning techniques. Sorry, if labeled data is given, then you can go for the supervised learning techniques. So in this supervised learning techniques also, we have the two types is there. One is continuous data, another one is a discrete data is there. In continuous data, then you can go for the regression kind of methods. So where the continuous data is there, then you can apply the regression algorithms to predict or analysis kind of thing. Where the discrete data is there, like image related data is there, then you can go for the classification methods, which are the support vector machine classifier, neural network classifier, Bayesian classifier kind of thing, or discrete decision trees kind of classification methods. So like this type of methods you need to apply. Suppose your data is the unlabeled data, then definitely you can go for the unsupervised learning techniques. So different type of unsupervised learning techniques are available. So we can call as the clustering. So when you're using applying the unsupervised learning techniques, finally you can get the clusters kind of thing. Then we'll get the output in the form of clusters. So like this, here I'm showing the what is the data is available, and whether label or unlabeled you can check it, and you can go for the either supervised or unsupervised learning technique. In supervised also it is continuous data. For example, we are suffering with this 2 years onwards almost COVID related kind of problem. So initially at the time of March, April, that time, we are most of the people they use this machine learning techniques to do the analysis and prediction kind of thing, how the spread rate is there, how the death rate is there. So like this analysis they did, how the economic will be down, all this kind of analysis and the prediction kind of thing, they use the machine learning techniques for do the best prediction kind of the way. So in that scenario also, in everywhere this machine learning techniques are useful. So this is related to the here today's talk. So if you have any queries is there, you can ask to me. Then otherwise I will take the queries questions. So in the chart, so when we can apply the classification regression to new unseen data. So new unseen data is another concept. For example, simple, I am taking the this apple and banana classification. You are giving the new data like that is not available in the database. The mango fruit is taken, that is not available in the database. Then how it will be detected? Either that mango or fruit also it detected as a apple or banana in case of that one. So for that case, that type of the applications which are the not available in the training samples, that type of the new data came. So in that scenario, some of the methods are available, that is called the one-shot learning, zero-shot learning kind of methods are available. So you can use the when the unavailable data is there, new label data is came, you can go for the zero-shot learning and one-shot learning kind of methods.
Excuse me, may I ask a question? I have a query actually.
Yeah.
So as you told that there is a difference in machine learning and the traditional programming, like we are giving the input output to the machine learning algos, whereas in the traditional only we have to give the input. But for the clustering kind of algos, we are providing only input, not the output level. So
see, in that case, you are not providing means here, especially in the classification point of view, I told that one.
yes.
In case of in case of unsupervised also, in metric calculations, only we can. So at the time of learning only, I given that example. In case of unsupervised, we not have any labels also. Only data is there. Only data is there. There is no labels concept.
What procedures we have to use in order to label the unseen data, sir?
Unseen data. So unseen data, that different mechanism that already I told, different methods are available like zero shot learning, one shot learning kind of methods are available. So you can use that methods too. It will be generate the labels for the unseen data. Normal classification methods are not helpful.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the chat box, can you explain role of ML in stock rate trading, sir?
Stock market prediction kind of thing.
Yeah, can you explain role of ML in stock trading?
Yes, for example, you can your stock market means it is the continuous data. Then in case of you take the past data, previous data, how it is your stock market is going on, based on some parameters also, maybe any weather conditions are affecting or not. See, for example, recently you can take any floods came, then how it is affecting. Like that, we can take the previous year's information. Past data means previous year's information. You can collect it. and what is the situation, especially another kind of environment is the COVID situations. So all this type of the previous data you can collect it. So based on the previous data, you can extract the properties, all the information, and you can give it to the regression models which are is there, like linear regression kind of thing. Then it will do the prediction maybe in the coming days how it is look like. Coming days means what is the situation is there, what is the environment is there. Same like COVID situation is there, then in that case also same again the same type of the stock market is either grow or down kind of situation will come. So based on the past information is required, in that also what type of the attributes you need to select it, that is also important, means what type of the features.
Sir, along trading is based on the ML technology, na sir? In chatbot, the algorithm.
Algorithm is
Algo, I don't know exactly algo or algorithm. ALGO trading is based on ML technology.
ML means maybe they're using ML techniques, or maybe they will go for see, normally this is a prediction kind of thing. Analysis means you are doing the analysis, what is how the growth is coming or how the decreasing, and next how the prediction means how the situation is there. That is maybe you can do with the help of the ML techniques. That will be helpful mostly. See here, algorithm is what is there. For example, recently if you ask the simple thing, recently rains came, then what is the situation of the vegetable, costly or less cost? Definitely everyone will tell like this. Suddenly rains came in non-seasonal time, the vegetables all are spoiled, then definitely rates will be increased. So like this, here what are the parameters you are taking, that is more important to the any machine learning algorithms. Then based on that it will do the analysis and it will do the prediction. So basically they will use the not exactly this ML techniques kind of thing. Sometimes some other factors will be affect in the dynamically also. But with help of this ML techniques, you can do the prediction and the trading kind of thing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Participants, any other queries?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Valuable, sir. Please. If queries is not there, okay, sir, we will close, sir. We will meet on tomorrow 2:30 p.m., sir.
Yes, sure. If any
Yeah.
queries is there, you can ask. Otherwise, we can close it.
Yeah. Participants, any queries is there? I think already all questions are over, sir. That's why no questions is there. They all clear, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Tomorrow we will meet at 2:30 p.m., sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, participants. Already I shared the attendance link and test link also in chat box. Please complete your assessment test and attendance.